One part of me wonders why I'm coming back for more. I really didn't like the first game much, and the second game was a big improvement, but I still sucked at playing it. Well, here we go. Third time lucky? Here's the new lineup. Sonya and Kano are back from Mortal Kombat 1, but where's Raiden? He was the one I knew how to use best. Aww. This new game seems much less ancient mystical monks and more cybernetic robots. Apparently the real world has been invaded by the outworld, so it's fighting on the home turf now. Check out this guy, Striker. He's a cop. Since when have the combatants been allowed to use weapons? No rules anymore, baby. One of the first things I noticed was how much faster Midway made the game. There's even a button to run, although I can't imagine when anyone would think to use it and actually remember to press the button. There's the usual fatalities, babalities, friendships and animalities. By this stage it had almost got to ridiculous levels as Midway tried to one-up its previous games.
Victory. Fatality.
It's funny, I did a finishing move by complete fluke. I just pressed some random buttons and this is what happened. Awesome.
Striker wins. Friendship.
There's still no pause button, which is infuriating when you're trying to look at a guide to see how to do your moves. And yet there's still a block button, which I can still never remember to press in time. It seems to me that although Mortal Kombat 3 is a step up from the previous game in terms of the amount of content and how deep the gameplay is, they also ramped up the difficulty. I played on super easy mode and that was hard enough for me. Just for a laugh, I had to go on the hardest setting. Well, you can see for yourself what happened. Oh, hey, I got a few hits in at least. Mortal Kombat had come a long way from its first game, and if someone was only going to play one of the three 16-bit games, I'd recommend this one. Due to its improved speed and added features, I might just say this stands, maybe. I just really suck at it. For the hardcore fighting fans, this would probably be amazing. How do you follow up from the biggest selling 16-bit game of all time? Poor Rare. They had a huge amount of expectation placed on their shoulders. Not only did they have to live up to their previous game, but Donkey Kong Country 2 was released just a month after Yoshi's Island. With that in mind, I guess it's inevitable that the game could come across as a bit disappointing. Don't get me wrong, it's still a great platformer, and I'll say it right now, it stands the test of time. But something about it just doesn't seem as exciting or imaginative as its predecessor. Perhaps it's the fact that, apart from the first couple of levels, the entire game is dark. Like, really, really dark. Geez, Rare, let the sun shine in just a little bit, would ya? Diddy and Dixie go from dark caves, to dark swamps, to dark theme parks, to dark haunted forests, to a dark castle. It's a bit depressing, don't you think? Or maybe my disappointing feeling stems from the fact that, let's be honest, Dixie and Diddy aren't really that great of a team. They're both just little guys, and the only thing that separates them is the fact that Dixie has a twirly, pony-taily helicopter spin thing, which makes her overpowered and makes Diddy seem kinda crap in comparison. Whatever the reason, yeah, I found the second Donkey Kong Country game to be a bit of a letdown. Still fun, for sure, but not the game I was hoping it would be. The standard gameplay wasn't changed much from the original game, but the locations were. There's no story, apart from Captain K. Rool's note at the start of the game. He's kidnapped Donkey Kong, of course. There is this pirate theme going throughout the game, which is always good fun, but I kinda wish they'd done more with it. It always struck me as a bit strange that the themed worlds only seem to apply some of the time. I was super excited when I first reached the theme park world. I couldn't wait to see what kind of fun and creative levels would be at the fun fair, and the first level is... a beehive? Okay. When you finally do reach the fun fair, it really only amounts to a couple of minecart rides, and that's it. The graphics are, once again, pretty wonderful in their fully rendered beauty. I'd say they stand on par with the first game in that regard, and let's be honest, the rendered graphics were the series' main drawcard. I was happy to see a few more goals in the game besides finding secret areas and collecting the KONG letters. Hidden in every level is a secret big coin. At the start of the game they're easy to find, but you have to work harder and harder to find them all later on. One thing that Rare changed a bit was giving the game a bit more of a challenge, which was welcome. This game is much harder than DK1. Most of the time difficulty's at a pretty good level, but if you manage to find the Lost World levels, whoa, they're hardcore. Prepare your controllers for some tossing. I've been sounding overly critical, I know, and as I said before, this is a good game, but I've always felt that it just didn't live up to its predecessor, and as beautiful as the graphics are, the gameplay was exposed in full view when it was released alongside Yoshi's Island, which was gameplay heaven on a stick, really. It still stands, but it hasn't aged quite as well as the rest of the series. Next week, it's time to say goodbye to the Mega Drive with two of the last games ever released for the Black Behemoth. Mega Peace Drive out.